Welcome to this explainer breaking down the absolutely epic 2026 clash between Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal. We are looking at a match that truly had it all, you guys. A collision of domestic champions, a gripping sudden death penalty shootout, wildly controversial calls, and a massive aftermath that rippled way beyond the stadium walls. I love unpacking events of this magnitude because they reveal so much about the modern game of football, both on the pitch and off it. Let's get into it. Let's kick things off with a single massive number. 2. Because PSG stepped onto the pitch looking to become only the second club in the modern Champions League era to win back-to-back titles. That is an incredibly rare feat. It's a level of dominance we literally haven't seen since Real Madrid's legendary run back in 2017. Paris Saint-Germain came into this match as the defending champions after lifting the trophy in 2025, and they were hungry to cement a true European dynasty.
All right, Section 1, the road to Budapest.
Just look at this stark contrast in recent European pedigree. It really sets the stage. You've got PSG entering their third overall final and their second consecutive one. On the other side, you've got Arsenal, a team on a 20-year quest for redemption. Their last and only appearance in a Champions League final was way back in 2006 when they fell short against Barcelona. So for the London club, this wasn't just a game, this was a generational opportunity to finally capture the ultimate prize. That profound history set the stage for an absolutely electric atmosphere inside the magnificent Puskás Arena in Budapest. We're talking over 61,000 passionate fans packed into the stands. And what's really unique about this specific final is that it featured an unprecedented 1800 Central European summertime kickoff. That is 3 hours earlier than the traditional schedule. It was a move by UEFA specifically designed to enhance the matchday experience for the fans and the host city, completely changing the pregame routine for the players.
Moving right along to Section 2, Arsenal draws first blood.
All that pre-match tension? Yeah, it was shattered almost immediately after the opening whistle. In just the 6th minute of the match, an attempted clearance by Paris Saint-Germain defender Marquinhos deflected off Arsenal's Leandro Trossard. That deflected ball fell perfectly to striker Kai Havertz, who somehow managed to slot it past PSG goalkeeper Matvei Safino from a remarkably tight angle. Just like that, Arsenal was up 1-0. It was a stunningly early goal, and incredibly, it would actually go down as Arsenal's only shot on target for the entire duration of the game.
Which brings us to Section 3, PSG's relentless comeback.
Now you might think conceding an early goal on this massive stage would rattle the defending champions, right? Not even close. The dynamic of the match completely flipped. Consider the sheer statistical dominance here. Despite Arsenal holding that early lead, PSG completely suffocated them with 72% possession. They hammered the Arsenal defense with 21 total shots compared to Arsenal's 8 and forced 11 corner kicks to Arsenal's 3. It wasn't just a comeback attempt, it was a total siege by the French champions. And that relentless, suffocating pressure finally cracked the English defense in the 65th minute. Arsenal's Christian Mosquera fouled Kvaratskhelia inside the penalty box. Ousmane Dembele stepped right up to the spot and made absolutely no mistake, converting the penalty and tying the game up at 1-1. PSG just kept pushing after that. Kvaratskhelia even rattled the post in the 77th minute, but they just couldn't find the winner in regulation.
Next up, Section 4, Extra Time Drama. So, with the score deadlocked after 90 grueling minutes, we head to extra time. Both squads were fighting sheer exhaustion. The stakes literally couldn't have been higher, but this extra 30-minute period would ultimately be defined not by a beautiful winning goal, but by a highly controversial clash that had the entire stadium holding its breath.
Here's what happened. In the 103rd minute, Arsenal players furiously pleaded for a penalty when PSG's Nuno Mendes tackled Nani Madueke to the ground right inside the PSG penalty area. But the referee saw it completely differently, adjudging that Madueke had actually grabbed Mendes's arm. So instead of a potential game-winning Arsenal penalty, the ref awards a free kick to PSG, issuing yellow cards to a heavily protesting Declan Rice and Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta. It was a massive, incredibly tense moment that kept the score strictly level.
And that leads us to Section 5, the penalty shootout.
The controversy passed, the final whistle blew, and this heavyweight bout went to the ultimate test of nerves. And fortunes shifted so quickly here. After an early miss wide left by Arsenal's Eberechi Eze, goalkeeper David Raya immediately sparked hope for the Londoners by saving Nuno Mendes' attempt. Both sides trade blows until Arsenal's Gabriel steps up. He absolutely needs to score to keep his team alive, but he sends his shot soaring right over the crossbar. Just like that,
Paris Saint-Germain are crowned back-to-back champions, winning the shootout 4-3. Finally, let's look at Section 6, Champions and Chaos.
That final whistle sparked wildly different scenes. On the pitch, it was pure joy for the French side. And we absolutely have to acknowledge the individual brilliance of PSG midfielder Vitinha. He was rightfully celebrated and named the official player of the match by UEFA. He delivered an absolute masterclass across the full 120 minutes, controlling the tempo and anchoring that staggering 72% possession we talked about earlier. But while the team lifted the trophy in Budapest, the celebrations back home in France quickly escalated into something else entirely. As tens of thousands of passionate fans took to the streets of Paris to celebrate this historic victory, violent clashes unfortunately erupted. By the end of the unrest, authorities reported exactly 283 arrests within the capital city alone.
And to impartially state the facts of the aftermath, this wasn't an isolated incident. There were 133 additional arrests across the rest of France. The French Interior Ministry had to deploy a massive force of 22,000 security officers nationwide, with 8,000 stationed in Paris alone, just to quell the rioting. What's really notable about this data is that it closely mirrored the unrest following PSG's victory the previous year in 2025. It shows a repeating pattern of massive civic disruption accompanying these major sporting triumphs.
And this brings us to a really critical crossroads. We've witnessed an incredible athletic achievement on the pitch, but we've also seen the massive logistical and safety challenges that follow it off the pitch. As global sporting events continue to generate this unprecedented level of passion, how will authorities balance the ecstasy of victory with the safety of the public? It is a huge question without an easy answer, but it's one that cities and sporting bodies are going to have to face together moving forward. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I hope this gave you a clear, structured look into a truly historic final.